Alright, what's up again? Hello everyone. Back for more streaming. And today's objective is to get through Metal Gear Solid 2. I think I'm getting closer to the end, if I remember correctly. Basically last time, got captured, I'm butt naked, I'm now in Arsenal gear, but I don't know that fact yet. And this is where the game's gonna go really, really off the tracks, and Kojima dropped a lot of acid or did something, because this game just gets absolutely wonky. And we're going to take that trip together. So let's switch over. Be a black screen for a second, but the 360 is loading up. And it looks like it's super quiet. Let's check. Yeah. Let's raise that back up. You change one thing and everything just goes completely haywire. Like I had to change around the stream because I was doing MAME and Final Burn Alpha games last night. Pardon me, then RetroArch for emulator. So now, like, I turn this on, and OBS audio is just like through the floor. Okay, I think this should be pretty good. And once again, if it's not, if anything needs to be adjusted audio-wise, please let me know. That's my only real rule here, other than the rules in the chat I have posted. Uh-oh, I'm gonna get Twitch banned. Just if I start doing cartwheels. You'll see that I'm actually a Barbie doll. Oh look, it's the cell where Snake was at. This is definitely not a copy of Metal Gear Solid. No, sir. Actually, oh cool, it actually says you're in Arsenal Guild. Okay, because I thought before you didn't know until somebody told you. I guess we know now.
Raiden, do you copy? You must continue your mission.
I've lost all my gear. I need to locate Snake.
He was never factored into the simulation. Leave him out of this.
I can't do much naked, especially in this temperature.
That's true. You won't be able to attack or enter the hanging mode either.
I think Snake has my gear.
Raiden, take out Solidus and his men. You must recover Arsenal intact.
Colonel, are you under orders from the Patriots?
Your role, that is mission.
By the way,
is to infiltrate
the game's not
structure
messing up with
and
the audio.
disarm the terrorists.
My role? Why do you keep saying that?
Why not?
It's actually
This
the
is a
game
type of
itself. Like, so
role-playing
this is the
game.
part of the game it goes
The point
completely
is that
off.
you play out your part, and I expect you to turn in a perfect performance.
Colonel, I just remembered something.
What?
That I've never met you in person. Not once.
Complete your mission according to the simulation.
Colonel, who are you?
No more questions. We have Rosemary.
What do you mean by that?
Over and out.
Then who will save my game?
Did you call Jack?
Look, it's the person that they have, but will still save your game. Okay.
Jack, I was serious when I said I wanted you to propose to me.
Rose?
I was really worried. There are times when it seems like you're not really looking at me, and that if I looked away for a moment, you'll disappear. I wanted to make sure you couldn't get away. I thought that if we lived together, maybe things would change. That maybe we could change things ourselves. But that wasn't the problem. There was something deeper.
I am horribly insecure.
I guess it's impossible for me.
What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Jack. I love you. I really do. Please believe me. Whatever happens.
Rose?
Bye, Jack.
Oh, I just got dumped via codec while naked in the middle of an Arsenal gear in the middle of a top secret mission where I can die at any second. Good job! It's kind of like some girl I was reading about. Unfortunately, she died. She was a cosplayer, I found out. And she had this kind of pretty rare form of cancer. Found out that she had it. Her boyfriend immediately dumped her, and she died like a week later. I was like, wow, that is just low. Pardon me. So let's see.
Raiden, turn the game console off right now.
What did you say?
The mission is a failure. Cut the power right now.
What's wrong with you?
Don't worry, it's a game. It's a game just like usual.
You'll ruin your eyes playing so close to the TV.
What are you talking about?
Raiden, something happened to me last Thursday when I was driving home. I had a couple of miles to go. I looked up and saw a glowing orange object in the sky, to the east. It was moving very irregularly. Suddenly, there was intense light all around me, and when I came to, I was home. What do you think happened to me?
Huh?
Fine.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reaction I had when I first played this too. I was like, what is going on? You just keep getting random calls too from the Colonel. It's great.
Honestly, though, you have played the game for a long time. Don't you have anything else to do with your time?
There it is.
Oh. What's that?
Actually, there is something I have been meaning to tell you, but I just couldn't. I think you should know, though. On Saturday morning last week, I saw a guy leaving Rosemary's room. How should I put it? It was like they were...
I love this one.
I'm sorry. Sorry to bring this up during the mission, but...
Okay, so I need to go up and over to the right side. Well, at least I know where I need to go now.
No, this isn't happening. Jack, you have to answer me. Jack! Jack!
Even my patience has its limits. I just can't leave this thing up to you any longer. I'll do the fighting. You can just go home.
Huh? What was that just now? Spotted the intruder. Stand back of his boat.
Let's hear the next crazy statement.
Honestly, though, you have played the game for a long time. Don't you have anything else to do with your time?
The ascending colon, which is a real part on your body, by the way.
Actually, there is something I have been meaning to tell you, but I just couldn't. I think you should know, though. On Saturday morning last week, I saw a guy leaving...
Yes, they were being intimate. We saw that one already.
Variety level 13. Rescue Meryl, the return of Ginola.
That was from the Metal Gear Solid VR missions. That was first released in Japan, then came out in the States.
Infiltrate.
Hey, it's Metal Gear, the original.
Outer heaven. Destroy the final weapon.
Metal Gear. And there's the lovely video of some woman on a lounger chair. I presume she's lovely, you don't really see her face.
It's amazing when the famous purple stuffed worm in Flapjaw space with the tuning fork does a raw blink on Harry Carey Rock.
I need scissors 61. By the way, these are all names, so they're probably people on the development staff.
Jack, it's me.
Hi, Rose.
Jack, I owe you an apology.
If it's about that conversation just now, I'm the one who's sorry.
No, it's something else.
What is it?
That day at Federal Hall 2 years ago, it wasn't a coincidence. I was ordered to keep an eye on you.
Keep an eye on me?
Yes, by the Patriots.
Not the Patriots.
You're a spy?
Funny that she's a
suppose-
spy for the Patriots, but they haven't put nano
It's
machines to
nothing
stop her from
more.
saying the word Patriots, so...
Are you still there?
Was sleeping with me a part of the job?
Yes.
I fell in love with you.
How could anyone?
I can't excuse what I did. I've reported every detail of your personal life to them these 2 years. What you did, said, everything.
Must have been fun.
But some things I didn't tell anyone.
Oh,
Like what I felt for you.
so that's why.
Or
you
how
were
small your
involved in
junk
this
is.
mission. I should have known.
I lied when I said I
Why
didn't
else would
care.
they toss an analyst into the mix at the last minute?
I'm sorry. I know what I did was wrong.
No matter where I go, I get used.
I reinvented myself to suit your tastes. Hairstyle, clothes, the way I moved, things I talked about. You say you love the color of my hair, my eyes. They're not even real.
You must have gone over my psych profile with a fine-tooth comb.
It was my job.
Great performance. Had me completely fooled.
You didn't know
What
your
I
girlfriend
really
dyed her hair?
wanted
Really?
Was for you to see the real me. It hurt to play out this artificial romance. It was worse to lie to myself than to you. The more love you gave me, the more it hurt. Because I knew the person you loved was just a character.
So it was artificial on my end too. It
For
was
me.
just a game, not the real thing.
Oh, Jack.
I feel better knowing that.
What?
I was in love, or thought I was, with someone who didn't exist. I was trying to be someone I wasn't by loving what wasn't real. I don't know who you really are. The person I knew isn't real. She's not the woman I'm talking to right now. In a sense, the deception was my own, not theirs.
Jack, I thought I was acting because that was my job. But I did fall in love with you. That wasn't an act.
You expect me to believe that?
Ugh.
It's okay. You had your reasons, right? Hey, I understand, but I have nothing left to...
Jack!
What?
I'm carrying. I'm pregnant, Jack.
Rose! What's going on?
Into Snaku.
Amazing how you walk around like that.
I know exactly. Just let it swing free, buddy.
Snake!
Been waiting long.
Like, why didn't you see me standing here this entire time? I mean, he is kind of camouflaged with the rest of the color. I can kind of see that part, but... So now I have a
Where's
cold.
my gear?
So now I need to take my medicine, or else I'm just going to keep sneezing randomly. Just like the first game. Because this is the first game. As I've said multiple times
That's
before.
more like it. Everything you had when you were captured is still there. Sorry about earlier. I had to use you as bait to gain access to Arsenal. It worked.
Why didn't you tell me about Olga?
You never asked. Not happy about that? Get over it.
Any effects of the virus yet?
Still waiting on that.
So, it was rigged by the Patriots?
Looks like it. From what I can tell, Arsenal is headed for Manhattan. I don't know what Solidus is planning, but we'll have to deal with it one way or another. There's also a troop of production model Rays ahead.
How many units?
25, according to Olga.
25?
Yeah.
Gente
Can't
uno.
say I've faced
Which is not the
it in
right
Metal
word.
Gears before, but I
Be
think we can
21.
deal.
No
Gente
way
cinco.
we can.
We can.
My Spanish is
because we
correct.
have no other choice.
How?
I've stocked up on Stinger missiles. Oh yeah, Olga left this for you.
A sword! So yes, I am bringing a sword to a gunfight. Exactly
Olga asked
why.
me to give it to you. Besides, I'm not a big fan of blades. Move the right stick up and down to make a vertical slice, and left and right to slice parallel to the ground. Move the stick in a circle to do a rotating cut. Push it forward to lunge and strike. You can guard with your blade if you have the LB button pressed down. You should be able to deflect a bullet or two.
Presuming you're a Jedi. Yeah, the 360 spin is really kind of tricky to do. Let's see. Should use my medicine. Oh, it actually won't let me. I guess I don't actually have a cold. Okay. So my question is if I can save or not, since Rose has been shut out. That's right, so it's just like no conversation, which is like a brief respite of her nonsense in this entire game, thankfully. Oops, wrong button. My bad. So I got the sword, testing it out, click it in, right stick. Yeah, like 360 movement is very hard to get to come out. I'm doing it right now, so it's making you do like the other ones. I actually have my palm like Mario Party style right on it, so... Oops! You can't do that. Sorry, Snake. I love you. Ugh. Can't remember if this is just the part where you're stuck, or You have to wait it out, or you actually have to go through the door. What's up, Ronnie? Yes. Okay, there we go. So hopefully I should be finishing this up. You just missed all the crazy dialogue that was going on. Rose, my annoying operator, tells me that she's been lying this entire time.
Got enough?
Absolutely. Infinite ammo.
Ha ha ha, reference to the first game.
Wait up, Snake.
What?
Oh good, more talking. We haven't had enough of that in this game series already.
Snake, have you ever enjoyed killing someone?
Yes, I get a rage boner all the time.
I'm not
It's
sure.
from adrenaline, shut up.
Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between reality and a game.
Diminished sense of reality.
If you can't tell the difference between reality and a game, you're probably schizophrenic
It was
and need
field
help.
training when I was a kid. I lied, Snake. I have more field experience than I can remember. It's not VR that's doing this to me.
Raiden, we don't carry guns to take people
Yeah,
down.
because like Rose
We're not here to
was...
help some
She
politician.
just confessed that
You can say that
she
because
was
you're a legend,
planted
a
there
hero,
by them meeting, like their whole
injected
thing about how they
with
hate each other
dirty
on their
reminder.
first date, and why she kept sticking with them is because she was hired by the Patriots to spy on him and report back everything. Her hair's dyed, her eyes are contacts, everything.
Only the good part.
He didn't notice all that, which I call BS, because you will quickly notice if your loved one is dyeing their hair, because it just either changes color constantly or you start to see roots
What
pop
are
up.
you and Otacon fighting for?
So,
A future.
and just as the transmission started to go get cut off, she said that she was pregnant.
What am I? What am I supposed to do?
Meanwhile, the Colonel was doing his usual crazy whole shtick thing about being abducted by aliens and
vice
other fun
versa.
stuff.
And when you do, pass it on to the future.
Believe in what?
That's your problem. Come on.
I'm just here to kill things to satisfy my murder lust. Oh goody, is it Otacon?
Snake.
Oh look, it's Otacon.
Otacon, you all right?
Yeah, so are all the hostages.
That's good news.
Is
How's
it?
everything on your end?
All right for now, but there is something.
What?
The Colonel's last transmission was strange.
Strange? How?
Just strange. No idea.
Interference?
I don't know.
Where is this colonel?
I don't know. I've never met the man, actually.
I'll dig around.
Thanks. I owe you one.
Oh, it's...
If there's anything
4
else,
was
call
not
me
too
on the
bad for
control. I
retconning,
might be
really.
able to help.
It
The
really
frequency
wasn't.
is
I was very surprised.
141.12.
But Metal Gear Solid 5 just destroys everything. Every single game just gets retconned from that one thing. Why do they have a drone indoors? Don't know how I can dodge all these bullets because I'm like not a Jedi, but it's like I'm trying to get up and the game's like nope. It actually is far better to use your gun in here. Particularly the M4. Okay, controls just literally screwed up. It's like I couldn't shoot. Started running the wrong direction. Oh, sorry, Snake. I got confused. I honestly don't know if there's anything... Ooh, like fake wall. Artificial wall. Invisible wall. Physics!
Raiden, about this colonel of yours. I found out where he is.
Where?
Inside Arsenal.
He's calling from inside the ship.
I've checked out all the possibilities, but I keep coming back to Arsenal. It isn't a relay point. It's the origin.
By the way, hopefully the audio is okay, because I had to mess with it last night when I was streaming using other emulators, so... This is not emulated, but I had to use Final Burn Alpha, MAME, and RetroArch. So I had to change things around a lot.
Talking to an AI.
That's impossible.
I've been talking to Russian
Colonel
bots.
probably isn't GW per se. GW was most likely stimulating cortical activity in the dormant part of your brain through signal manipulation of your own nanomachines.
That
The
makes
kernel is,
sense.
in
So
part,
a computer
your own
AI
creation,
caused me to
cobbled
hallucinate
together
a
from your
kernel.
expectations and experience.
That's crazy.
Okay.
But it's
Yeah, this is
probably
where
true.
Kojima just
The virus
dumps a
maybe
bunch of
started to
acid and
affect GW,
started
which
writing
would
stuff
explain the
down.
colonel's behavior.
It was all an illusion? Everything I've done so far?
Raiden,
Snake, what's happening around here?
I don't know. What I do know is that you're standing right here in front of me.
Or am I an
Not
illusion?
Flesh and blood.
Huh?
It's your call. You can drop this if you want.
No, I can't do that. Let's go.
Sigmoid colon. I know where that's at. Find if everything is like labeled a colon. Pardon me. Inverse,
Right.
transitive,
They've
sigmoid,
got Rose.
descending.
What? Rose is being
Herbie.
held in the holds.
It's a trap.
Rose!
Raiden, get a grip.
But Snake...
It's a trap. Since the Colonel doesn't exist, there's no way he can take Rose hostage.
Yeah, you're right.
I am right.
You know it, baby. Who's the king?
Does Rose exist?
Don't be weird. She's your...
What if I've never really met her? What
Be like
if the
MacGruber
Colonel
when
was
he's like
something
having
that I
sex
first
with his
dreamt
dead
of?
wife in the
Then
cemetery,
everything
the
I
ghost.
remember about her could be...
If you've never seen MacGruber, don't. I mean, it's a god-awful movie, but you can YouTube that one scene, MacGruber's cemetery.
Is this
That's like the best part of the entire movie, to be honest. Everything else is just god-awful, don't waste your time, but that part was amazing. I keep saying it like every single time now I think about it because I just have random thoughts going through my head, but I really need to update the bio for my Twitch page. Really should do that. Basically, retiring from Bayonetta 2 speedrunning, lurkers welcome type deal. If you want to lurk, that's fine. I always have a lurkers are welcome policy, but like if there's something off, let me know, you know. That's like my only rule, really, other than don't be a dick. Ninja! P90s, very accurate within 30 yards. You can like drive nails with those things, they're amazing. Why had to put me on my SOCOM? Good god, game. Oh yes, that's right. This part is... You should go, oh my god, how did I die? You're not dead. This game just loves to mess with you at this point. Snake, get out of the way, dude. There's actually a game called Emmett. It was originally for the Super Nintendo, and then it was ported to the Sega Saturn, and I have it on the Sega Saturn, well, copies of it, I should say. I don't own the actual game because it's very expensive. But it was a game that linked up to your CD player to teach you English, because it was in Japanese. So it's really fascinating, especially for like the Super Nintendo, because I'm pretty sure that if the Super Nintendo CD had ever been released, that was definitely going to be a game for the system. Alright, let's see. Bandage, just to stop that. We'll use one right now. But it's kind of fascinating. I mean, you can download the ROMs. I think you need to have like a workbook with it in order to try to teach you it, but it was really kind of a neat concept. I remember stumbling across a Super Famicom ROM of Emmett like back around 98, 99, going, what is this? It was fascinating, because I thought it was like a Super Nintendo CD prototype at first. It actually has a lot of English dialogue to it as well, which is very surprising for a cart.
Wait, Solid Snake, the root of all my sorrows.
What?
2 years ago, you killed my father. That was the beginning of hell for us. Everyone I love.
Someone's got daddy
one
issues.
by one, and no matter how hard I try, I can't follow them. An endless nightmare. The only thing we live for is to see it end.
So now I run around in a latex leotard and carry a railgun.
Can't be serious about firing the nuke.
Totally not a fetish
No one can kill me.
that I would have.
May as well
That
kill
would be
everyone
silly.
I can. Starting with you, Solid Snake.
Damn! Looks like I'm today's pick. You go on ahead.
If you insist, bye. I'm just gonna walk away.
I've got it right here.
What are you gonna do? Bullets can't get near her.
I'll think of something. There's no such thing as a witch.
You think you can kill me?
Put on some pants.
I don't know what your group's been through, but let's get one thing clear. I didn't kill your father.
Do you think anyone believes your lies?
Raiden, get out of here!
Like, how effective would a scope be on a railgun? Because, I mean... And how would she miss that close to him? Many questions. None of which will be answered. Oh yes, this part. This is where you keep fighting like multiple Metal Gears. Metal Gear Rectum. Seriously, that's what the floor says.
Jack, I've been watching how you fight. It looks like you've remembered the way you used to kill in the old days. Or is it one of the S3 plan's proud achievements?
What are you talking about?
What am I fighting
It came as a complete
for?
surprise when Ocelot discovered the S3 data from GW. Not a bad idea, though. Using fire to fight fire, creating the perfect assassin to retire Solid Snake's brother. S3 stands for Solid Snake Simulation. It's a development program to artificially...
See? Metal Gear Rectum. Or Arsenal Gear Rectum.
The perfect warrior. The result is a Foxhound Commando. When Foxhound no longer exists, a simulated Solid Snake shaped by VR regimen. Sound like someone you know?
Remember, I actually used to be able to do this. It's pretty hard to do. You actually had to get going pretty quickly.
Patriots' puppets. But
Now the idea of doing cartwheels and flips and everything like that is completely foreign to me.
Solid Snake's sudden appearance, your arrival. It was obvious that
Also, your body
Patriots
doesn't
were
tell
on
you
my
you can't
radar.
do that stuff anymore until you're midway doing it. Like, I figured out I couldn't do backflips anymore midway through a backflip thinking I'm going to break my neck. And I came pretty close to it.
Jack, Those days during the Civil War were as real
Crazy
as
things
they
you do
come.
when you're in love with a girl.
Every day was
He's like, watch me do handstands. I'm like, I can do a backflip. Crunch.
You ran from it, and now you've been led back to war by something less than real. No more games, Jack. At least you know. There's no reason to keep you alive now.
Now that I've monologued and told you my entire plan. Heard me.
I've given you a worthy opponent, at least. But now, you should die as the little Jackie boy I once knew.
Okay, Canberra. Thank you. Oh, I ran right into that one. Yeah, basically, it doesn't really matter what you do here. I mean, because no matter what, there's like pretty much an infinite supply of these guys coming at you, so... Ah, it's beautiful. Great picture. I mean, when you're in the heat of battle, you gotta make some great Polaroids to put up on Instagram. Because I mean, who else is gonna believe that you fought these things, or what you ate for lunch? Well, out of bandages? I guess so. Spinning around the entirely wrong way. It's not letting me shoot, right? Okay, why did it spin me around? Oh, just when I was thinking I should heal. And I didn't too long. So body armor doesn't really pay off, I guess. Guess keeping the rations would do it. Love how it just keeps randomly equipping your SOCOM when you don't need to use it here. These guys are going missile happy this time, jeez. Let go! Jeez. Game's like, nah, we're gonna keep you in the first-person view. We think it's funnier. Funny, because last time he was dropping rations down, but now not so much. I don't remember how long this lasts for. Come on. Okay, I had rations equipped. What happened?
Right, come in.
They weren't all used up. I had 2. If you can get it to open its mouth, it does a lot of damage. So if you can hit the knees, then hit the kneecaps, like hit the kneecaps in the face, you can do a lot of decent damage. Get up, damn it. Oh no, I defeated Rose. Finally, jeez. Lasts freaking forever. By the way, I would have no eardrums left intact. Mujahideen, when they would fire these back in the like against the Soviets in the Afghanistans, when we gave them the Stingers, they were almost all deaf, but I mean, they were amazing. They were able to hit helicopters at 20,000, 30,000 feet. Enter the ninja. Hey, B&B.
So you decided to show yourself.
Oh, don't do this! They'll know!
I'll hold them off. Give you time to get away.
What about you? This is suicide!
Duh.
Your nanomachines, they're
And Nimix, what's up?
to the Patriots. If you die, my child dies. You understand?
That's pretty asinine.
I see. So that's
Makes
why
no
you sent
sense.
troops out to me. So many dead, and they all died trusting you. Weren't they your comrades?
So I figure you're probably still doing more cleanup
Not
work.
just comrades, family. I know I'm going to hell, but at least my child.
But at least it'll be nice hunt basket I ride in.
Your attitude. If you have a death wish, I'll be happy to accommodate you. See you in hell.
Dr. Octopus, no! Hey, 1 frame. Still 1 more frame than he had before. And the P90 twirl. So I love P90s, they're so freaking accurate. You can literally drive the head on a nail from like 30 yards with those things, but they're not long range at all. Very, very short range, almost no kick. Very awesome guns. I thought he broke her neck, because like I didn't realize he shot her in the head. I just saw him twirl into P90 and then all of a sudden her head gets crushed back.
Enjoy the show, Jack. Let's pick up where we left off. What's going on?
You forgot to run malware bites.
GW, it's out of control. What?
Yeah, look what you've done. Multi-million dollar, possibly billion dollar, yeah, definitely billion dollar machines. And they forgot to install antivirus on it. Oops. At least it's not as absurd as like Independence Day when aliens run on Macs, because I mean nobody on Earth uses Macs anyway for computers. So then apparently aliens do, and there's a virus that they're susceptible to, which I don't even know how we'd even connect to them, but Michael Bay, stuff gotta go boom.
Some kind of virus. The Patriots? I don't know. Ocelot, what have you been up to? It's too late.
Downloading porn, leave me alone. I mean, I don't know how these things happen and these pop-ups of naked women keep happening. Which, when you start working with computers, is your favorite thing to hear. I don't know how this happened, but it's like, well, here's my response. Stop going to weird porn sites on the internet. Because you know exactly, that's exactly what's causing it. And they forgot to make these things bulletproof, too. Apparently the armor is just for show.
Damn the Patriots. You still have some use.
I've captured Snake.
Snake?
Said confused for some reason. Who are you? I have sudden amnesia. Yes, let's save. I don't want to have to do that stupid fight over again.
Are you awake yet, Jack? GW, the Arsenal AI is corrupted beyond repair. I admit that I underestimated you.
How long has he been waiting to monologue at me? That's my question. It's like, I had to wait 3 hours.
The answers out of you instead, my son.
Just what I love to do with my bad back is hit buttons repeatedly.
What do you hope to hear? You know he doesn't know anything.
It's not him I want the
Oh, hey guys. I just get off on choking weirdo blonde kids.
That's not your business.
Oh, really? It so happens I have some business of my own to attend to.
Planning to hijack Arsenal?
Huh?
You were going to screw me over, weren't you?
Who talked? Ocelot?
No, but you just confirmed it.
I was the one who used Ocelot to suggest the idea to you in the first place.
What?
I was planning to give you Arsenal to begin with.
Why the uncharacteristic generosity?
I'm no philanthropist. Arsenal is far
Oh, coughing hurts, sneezing is the absolute worst.
guards, a huge payload of warheads, and full
And I have fall allergies too, so you can imagine that hell.
against a large attack force without support. Arsenal is nothing
Yeah, coughing
more
is
than a
not usually too
gigantic
bad, but
coffin.
sneezing is the
Seizing
absolute
Arsenal
worst
here
thing to
was
do.
Never the real objective.
What was your objective then?
A list of
Pardon me?
names of the Patriots.
And then you find out in the fourth game that all these people are dead. Well, maybe it's the end of this game you find out too, but everyone's dead, and it's just purely a computer running everything. The computer runs the Illuminati.
They want to filter out
I mean,
is
Patriots.
contained in GW, including that list of the highest 12 members of the Patriots Wiseman's Committee.
And once you knew who they were, you would cross out their names one by one, while we, with our useless arsenal, drew their fire.
Very good.
You were using us all along.
Were you any different?
But your plans hit a snag with GW destroyed, hasn't it?
No, there is another way.
Really? But we have our own plans to carry out. We'll take the arsenal since you don't care for it anyway. The purified hydrogen bomb is ready to go.
A nuclear strike won't stop that.
Purified hydrogen doesn't matter.
It will damage their power source.
Hydrogen is hydrogen, and that's all you need to really compress in order to cause a fusion to set it off the hydrogen bomb.
Of course. That was what you wanted.
Of course, nuclear missiles are two-stage, so plutonium core explosion, which then basically causes the hydrogen to fuse, which is a booster. For those who don't know much about nuclear science and weapons and crazy stuff, because years ago I actually worked with a literal nuclear physicist.
What exactly do you find so funny?
She got her PhD, and the day she did, she kind of basically grew a conscience and went, whoa, I really don't want to be responsible for making nuclear weapons that can blow the entire Earth away, so she quit and started going to customer service. I was like, are you kidding me?
Everything you've done here has been
She showed me her degree. She was a legit doctor.
Exercise.
The S3 plan was conceived as a means to produce soldiers on par with Solid Snake. That's what I told you.
It's like working your butt off to go through 8 years of medical school, become the best surgeon in the world, and go, wow, I want to become a door greeter at Walmart. I don't like blood after all.
This incident is your own doing, Solidus. This is the S3 training kernel. An orchestrated recreation of Shadow Moses.
Yep.
What?
As I've been saying, this is literally the first game remade.
Games and the president's deaths. The Ninja. The computer virus that mimics Foxdie. Did you really think they were all a coincidence? AIM's own nanomachines were used to shut down his pacemaker.
Which wouldn't do anything unless you had, you know, atrial fibrillation at that point, really. So your pacemaker could shut off as long as you don't have an episode, you're fine.
As for the president, although Johnson realized what was going on, he played out his allotted
But
part.
don't let me tell you how pacemakers
As for the
work.
computer virus, it's a digital counterpart of Foxdie. It was also designed to eliminate every scrap of information regarding the Patriots from GW. Your plan was invalidated even before execution, Solidus.
All of these are just bad guys just monologuing to each other at this point.
That man was a different story. He's one of our own people. A sort of examiner we hired to test the boy's progress before letting him tackle the exercise proper. We had to arrange for Stillman's presence to coax the maniac into agreeing. If the boy had allowed the big shell to be destroyed, this exercise would have ended there. The project has no room for failures.
What do you mean?
Given the right situation, the right story, anyone can be shaped into Snake. Even rookies can fight like men of experience.
And this is all from the, well, first part there was Snake was actually from the E3 2000, gosh, was it 2001
and this training
trailer?
Would provide more than
It was either 2000, 2001.
such a program.
Yep, all these parts where you see Snake fighting that doesn't actually happen. That was from Kojima being a jerk.
You're all nothing but pawns placed to create the perfect simulation. Solidus, you and the boy were selected because your relationship resembles the one between Snake and Big Boss. Fortune, you and the rest of Dead Cell stand in for the Foxhound squad that Snake took on in Shadow Moses. You're the most impressive collection of freaks outside of Foxhound.
And like a literal freak show, but they didn't want to be hired.
We've gone to a lot of trouble.
They're busy nailing nails to their sinuses.
The story about purified hydrogen bombs is just the tip of the iceberg. The project was already underway when I sunk that tanker, along with your old man 2 years ago.
Yes, like I said, it doesn't matter about the purified part.
You were told that the eradication of Dead Cell 6 months ago was an act of the Patriots. We provoked and encouraged your hatred.
Here's a crotch shot for no reason.
And you opted for vengeance, just as we planned.
All orchestrated?
Except for the appearance of the real Solid Snake. I wonder now who sent for
It's like, I'm not complaining, but it's like, yeah, just gratuitous crotch shot for some reason.
Just a part of their project?
Ronnie's girlfriend sent me a picture. He's passed out. She's like, who has narcolepsy now? I've had narcolepsy. That was an interesting time.
How could...
You're no Lady Luck.
You didn't notice the VCR we had attached to you that caused this thing to work?
What?
Why'd you shoot me through the breast? Dude.
Do you know why no bullet could hit you? It wasn't magic, or some new age mumbo-jumbo.
But it is new age mumbo-jumbo in the form of technology.
It was all staged by the Patriots.
Staged?
You were being shielded by the electromagnetic weapons technology that the Patriots developed. Your Dead Cell comrades loved your father and husband. We needed a
Your father and husband?
to keep them
Was she
focused.
married to her dad?
You've been our puppet all along.
I mean, it's Japan, but damn.
No.
You were hamming it up as the tragic heroine, thanks to the script that the Patriots wrote for you. Pure self-indulgence, absorbed in your own misfortune. You couldn't get enough of the drama.
I could have died whenever I wanted to.
But now that I'm dying, I don't want to die.
Thought I got her in the heart.
It missed.
Now I remember. Your heart's on the right. Waste of metal, my dear.
There is a genetic condition that can cause the right to be on the heart, like the heart be on the right side. Yeah, that's how big it is, and she didn't know that was on her.
Supernatural, only cutting-edge technology.
The size of an iPhone. But yeah, there is a medical condition that can cause your heart to be on the right side, but we're talking like out of the entire world, like 4 people have it technically. You know, currently at this moment, statistically speaking. Everyone else it resides more centered to the left. And just because you shoot somebody in the heart doesn't mean that they die. You can live. It might be painful. As long as you have a super major rupture, you can live through being shot in the heart or even stabbed. I don't recommend it. Not speaking from personal experience here, but it can be livable. More random things Russell knows.
All I have to do is retrieve Arsenal and clean up the refuse from the exercise.
Just try.
I have swords somehow.
How's this then? Damn.
It's like you have a railgun, it will easily destroy that thing. Oh yes. She has psychic powers, apparently. You learned that too.
Fortune! You idiot! Get the hell away from there!
I told you, your luck's run out. Take your reward. It's all the payload Ray has. Die!
Oh, so pretty.
Everybody down!
Everyone down as they stand up.
Impossible.
She is Lady Luck.
My name is Helena Dolph Jackson, the daughter of a proud and noble soldier.
Oh, there goes my lung.
I can see my family again.
Damn! Try this instead.
By the way, with how long this is still not the end of the game.
waiting for this.
It can't be.
So in number 4, you learned that actually it's not Liquid coming back through the
I've been
arm,
inside this arm all along, waiting for the right time to awaken.
but he was hypnotized. Also, was hypnotized to believe it was because I can't remember. But no amount of hypnosis would change your voice like this.
Yes, a sleeper in the arm of a Patriot spy.
It was you 2 years ago?
Exactly. I was controlling him. Snake, it was I that leaked information.
Kojima's
about
like,
us
brains
to
are
the
stored in the
Parliament
arm,
and
right?
got you out here. What? You're the only one that can free me. After all,
We're brothers.
I'm off to bury the Patriots for good.
You know where they are? How?
Why do you think I chose Ocelot as my host? But before I go, I have a family matter to settle with both of you. There's room for only one Snake and one big boss. Time to say goodbye.
Fun note, if you have something that can do electromagnets that hard to divert missiles and bullets, you'd also be shutting down your guidance system for the Metal Gear 2. None of that would work.
It's a good way to go.
Because you'd probably be killing everybody with a pacemaker in a 4-mile radius if you had that enough power going out to divert that thing.
Hey, Snake, you coming?
Oh, this makes no sense. I'm gonna dive after him. Let's see, will it go, yep, screw you, bridge. Nope, actually, I think we're gonna go right underneath it. Just barely. And the Verrazano Bridge lives. I think it's the Verrazano Bridge. I've only been to New York City once, and that was when I was trying out for MasterChef a couple years ago. Didn't go anywhere near the bridges. Got to go right into Times Square and notice how terrible parking is. Just driving in New York in general, actually. New York City. So somehow we've made it into the heart of the financial sector in Manhattan, Federal Hall, which is not right on the ocean.
What are you laughing at?
So they made it all the way to basically like Wall Street.
You know what day it is today.
April 30th?
It's the day you and Rose met.
That's right.
Hitler's birthday. Columbine. I mean, April 30th is a lot of things.
And it happened right here. We were going to declare another independence. The dawn of a new nation. Here. The end of the Patriots' secret rule. Liberation of this country. This was where it was supposed to begin. This is where freedom could have been born.
All you want is power at any cost.
Jack.
I still don't know how they got through all these buildings to get here.
What I wanted to take back from the Patriots are things like freedom, civil rights, opportunities. The founding principles of this country.
How they even survived getting there on the back of this thing.
That's about to be wiped out by their digital censorship.
Net neutrality, they'll call it.
Listen to me. We're all born with an expiration date. No one lasts forever. Life is nothing but a grace period for turning the best of our genetic material into the next generation. The data of life is transferred from parent to child. That's how it works. But we have no heirs, no legacy. We brothers are called les enfants terribles, cloned from our father, with the ability to reproduce conveniently engineered out.
Oops, we're sterile.
What is our legacy if we cannot pass the torch? Proof of our existence, a mark of some
I'm pretty sure they use that as a pickup line. Hey baby, I'm sterile. Solid
torch is
Snake.
passed on from parent to child. It extends beyond DNA. Information is imparted as well.
The game better be loading. Okay, so it's like if it crashes now, I'm gonna be upset.
By other people, by history.
So I still have one last fight. I gotta fight him, then the game will be over.
Their own interests by controlling the digital flow of information. I want my memory.
So it's been like, let's see.
Of history, I will be remembered as an
Yeah, it's been about 20 minutes since I last had any input in this game.
But the Patriots would deny
Because you
us
made the
even
combat
the-
mimics at 9:28.
I will triumph over the Patriots.
About like my back, button mashing, and that was the last input I had on the game, and it's now 9:49, so it's literally been 21 minutes since I've done anything at all in this game. I've just been sitting here watching with the rest of you. If you're watching.
Raiden, are you receiving? We're still here.
How's that possible? The AI was destroyed.
Only GW.
Who are you?
To begin with, we're not what you'd call human. Over the past 200 years, a kind of consciousness formed layer by layer in the crucible of the White House. It's not unlike the way life started in the oceans 4 billion years
So
ago.
politicians are
The
scum.
White House was
Okay,
our primordial
that makes sense.
soup, a base of evolution. We are formless. We are the very
We are
discipline and
Legion.
morality that Americans
We are
invoke so
anonymous.
often. How can anyone
We are the
harm
hacker
us?
known as 4chan.
As long as this nation exists, so will we.
Cut the crap! If you're immortal, why would you take away individual freedoms and censor the net?
Jack, don't be silly.
Don't you know that our plans have your interests, not ours, in mind?
What?
Jack, listen carefully, like a good boy.
The mapping of the human genome was completed early this century. As a result, the evolutionary log of the human race lay open to us.
We started with genetic engineering, and in the end, we succeeded in digitizing life itself.
But there are things not covered by genetic information.
What do you mean?
Oh, by all means, definitely go start a fire, but make sure it's in a fireplace, because law enforcement kind of frowns upon it if you do it in other people's
Is
homes.
it something that should not be passed on? Should
If they catch you.
information be left at the mercy of nature?
We've always kept records of our lives, through words, pictures, symbols, from tablets.
It's like donating
to
blood.
books.
Sure, I donate blood. It's not mine, but I donate.
By later generations. A small percentage of the whole was selected and processed, then passed on. Not unlike genes, really.
That's what history is, Jack.
But in the current digitized world, trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness, never fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
All this junk data, preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
Right. You seem to think that our plan is one of censorship.
Are you telling me it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Create context.
The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths. Just look at the strange juxtapositions of morality around you.
billions spent on new weapons in order to
It's like I'm so engrossed I'm actually checking out the analytics for my channel because I've never looked at them before.
More respect than the privacy of their victims.
Although there are people suffering in poverty, huge donations are made to protect endangered species. Everyone grows up being told the same thing.
Be nice to other people.
But beat out the competition.
You're special. Believe in
0
yourself
subs,
and you
as
will
it should be,
succeed.
because I don't want anybody
It's obvious
subscribing to
from the
me.
start that only a few can succeed.
You exercise your right to freedom, and this is the result.
Most of my views come from Yellow Killer Bee's channel whenever she hosts, which is awesome. 58% people find me through just searching and browsing through Twitch. 24% are followers.
In the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger force.
Most people like retro. Some people like Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which I don't have.
Into the growing cesspool of society
Okay.
at large.
The different cardinal truths neither clash nor mesh. No one is invalidated, but nobody is right.
Not even natural.
This is for the
selection can
past
take
week
place
too,
here.
so
The world is being engulfed in truth.
And this is the way the world ends. Not with a
and I
bang.
average around 5 people.
We're trying to stop that from happening.
When I used to stream Bayonetta, I used to get like around Bayonetta 2, I should say, around 8 to 12.
Unnecessary information and memory must be
Which it doesn't really matter. I mean, I've had streams where it's just been myself, so I streamed it basically for fun.
To decide what's necessary and not.
Absolutely.
There are people like, I gotta get partner, I gotta make this a job and everything, and I'm just like, psh, that's a horrible way, too stressful.
And even interpret their meaning for later
Pardon me.
generations.
That's what it means to create context.
I'll decide for myself what to believe and what to pass on.
But is that even your own idea?
Or something Snake told you.
That's the proof of your incompetence right there. You lack the qualifications to exercise free will.
That's not true. I have the right.
Does something like a self exist inside of you?
That which you call self serves as nothing more than a mask to cover your own being.
In this era of ready-made truths, self is just something.
This is like getting into Matrix Reloaded / Revelations,
Another
like,
possibility is that self
territory here for conversations, philosophy and such.
some sense of strength.
We think we're deep, and we're not really.
Would you prefer that someone else tell you? All right then.
God, Matrix Reloaded was such a freaking disappointment.
You're simply the best, and you got
Especially
there
because, like,
all
I got to
by
read
yourself.
the original scripts that they were working on, the first 2 versions of it. It was a lot more interesting.
Try a bit of soul searching.
They really shot themselves in the foot at the ending of The Matrix.
Ironic.
Then, like, The Matrix Reloaded was, like, even, like, their action scenes were far, far more amazing that they had written down, but there's just no way to really practically shoot
It's
it.
not my fault.
Like, the highway
It's not
chase
your
scene,
fault.
it's like Neo shows up.
You simply resort to
Same thing for Morpheus, of course, but, like, they're having, like, fist fights. They're getting, like, knocked through cars. Like, at one point, like, Morpheus gets knocked back inside of a minivan driving down the highway, and Agent jumps in. They have a fist fight in the middle of this, like, suburban minivan driving down the highway. They're freaking out and stuff. Then they get knocked out of it, too. Cars are getting knocked over. Semi-trucks get knocked over.
smothering the world.
All sorts of crazy stuff.
You are.
It was really
The
awesome.
individual is supposed to be weak,
Also,
far from
like,
powerless. A single person has the
Neo
potential
was supposed to be
to
shown
will
as being
the world.
weaker too, because they kept upgrading the agents to try to match his speed, which is something they showed in the beginning of the movie. He's like, he goes to punch an agent, the agent stops him, he's like, oh, upgrades.
Building a
And then you have this
legacy
really lame
involves
fight.
figuring out what is wanted
But
and
in the
what
original
needs to be
script,
done for that
like,
goal.
Neo's like, he's just moving super fast. Like, he sees like everyone, not only in the Matrix Code, but also everyone's moving super slow, so he's like really bored with everything. He's like, why the hell am I even fighting these guys? Then all of a sudden the agents are moving the same speed he is, if not faster, and he has to actually struggle to keep up. And the original script called for, like, at one point a window got broken, and as they're fighting, like going super speed, you could see the glass falling in slow motion to illustrate like how fast they were going. So it was really, really interesting to read, but just sad that it never worked out.
No matter how able, be to us.
Well, good. Well, now you can keep yourself warm, because I have 2 cords of wood in my garage, and we haven't lit a fire yet, so we'll probably start doing that probably tomorrow or so, next time it gets really cold. Today was like 55, but when it gets down to around 35 or so, we'll probably start lighting it up.
And consciousness. S3 is not you, a soldier trained in the image of Solid
Okay,
Snake.
I used to think that Metal Gear Solid, well, this isn't technically the ending of the game, but like Metal Gear Solid 4 literally has a 40-minute ending. I am one fight away from beating this game,
We're the S3.
and it's been 30 minutes almost since I've had any input for this game at all.
What you experienced was the final test of its effectiveness.
That's crazy.
You heard what President Johnson said.
The Arsenal's GW system is the key to their supremacy.
Well, the thing is with Sega CD, though, you still have inputs. I mean, you may be watching video, but you still have left, right, up, down, ABC, whatever inputs to it.
We used
But this is like, I've been literally like, have my controller sitting down on the TV stand next to me, haven't touched it in 30 minutes.
We chose that backdrop because of its extreme circumstances. It was an optimal test for S3's crisis management capacity. If the model could trigger, control, and solve this, it would be ready for any contingency. And now, we have our proof.
So in the meantime, here while I've been doing nothing, I've looked at my Twitch analytics,
Right. There are also reasons
discussed some of the first draft stuff for The Matrix Reloaded, why that movie was such a disaster.
You know why we chose you over them? It was because you were the only one who refused to acknowledge the past. All the others remember what they were and pay for it daily.
But you turn your back on everything you don't like. You do whatever you like, see only the things you like, and for yourself alone.
Yes, Rose can attest to that.
So I was thinking, like, maybe I can get to Metal Gear Solid 3 tonight, and probably not at the rate that this is going.
To be caught. You pretended to be understanding, to be a gentleman. You never made a conscious attempt to reach out to me. The only time you did was when I gave you no choice but to do so.
I was just trying not to.
What? Trying not to hurt me? Dear, the one you were trying not to hurt was yourself. Avoiding the truth under the guise of kindness is all that you did. It occurred to you to do nothing but look out for yourself. Even if you claim that it was for my sake, that feeling was nowhere to be seen. In the end, everything was for your sake. I was never part of the picture.
Exactly right.
What up, Beta?
You're a perfect representative of the masses we need to protect. This is why we chose you. You accepted the fiction we've provided, obeyed our orders, and did everything you were told to. The exercise is a resounding success.
Didn't I tell you that GW was still incomplete? But not anymore, thanks to you.
Your persona, experiences, triumphs, and defeats are nothing but byproducts. The real objective was ensuring that we could generate and manipulate them. It's taken a lot of time and money, but it was well worth it considering the results. I think that's enough talk. It's time for the final exercise. Raiden, take Solidus down.
Oh, am I finally gonna be able to do something?
I'm through doing what I'm told.
Oh, really? Aren't you forgetting something?
If you die, my child dies.
The termination of vital signals from your nanomachines means the death of Olga's child.
Why?
Not to mention,
I don't know. We just thought it'd be funny.
She's wired the same way.
Rose, does she actually exist?
Of course I do, Jack. You have to believe me.
It had lie in capital letters in the believe.
Solidus at least wants you dead.
We will collect the necessary data from this last fight. Then we'll consider the exercise closed. So, Jack the Ripper, will it be Solidus, the Patriot's creation, or you, Solidus's creation? Our beloved monsters, enjoy yourselves.
Jack, my son. My clone brothers and I are called monsters, replicates of evil genes. You are one of a kind, but still a monster, shaped by a dark and secret history. We need to decide which monstrosity will have the privilege of survival.
I love how nobody's come out to see what the heck is going on through this entire conversation. Like all New York City's empty. No. Obi-Wan never told you the truth, did he?
I am your father. I am your foster father and your worst enemy.
Why?
Because I needed to know whether we were really someone else's creation. We're repeating
Yeah.
history, Jack.
It's not she, unfortunately. It's a boy.
Sever the tie that bound them to him. Unless you kill me,
Although everyone seems confused on his gender, so... I mean, the first time you meet the president, he grabs your groin.
Your own double.
Yeah, it's Jack as a kid. So literally in this game, the first time you meet the president, if you didn't see it, he just walks up to you and grabs your crotch. He's like, "Oh, you're our guy?" It's like, is this how you greet everybody? And hopefully I tossed that just right and just didn't split you down the middle.
I have other reasons for wanting you dead. The clues to the Patriots inside GW have been erased.
Why does he have samurai swords? I mean, is he like President Weeb?
Inside you.
Call me Weeaboo Snake.
The information is being carried by the nano.
Kariwata, yeah. Kariwatashi wada Weeaboo. Nandesu. Nandesu ka? And John Woo somewhere just gets really happy at that part.
Brace yourself.
Holy crap, I can do something. Alright, cool, let's save.
Jack, are you okay? How's your murdering go?
It's fine, don't want to talk about it. Yeah, 42 minutes.
Be strong. Whatever happens,
Actually, it's closer to 44.
Try to do something for me for a change.
Is that the best you can do?
Yes, sir.
What's wrong with you?
Not that I know of, but of course I don't really speedrun this game, so... I'm trying to do like a 360 spin and it ain't working. Yeah, I don't have any other weapons. This move's so slow, you have to use the right thumbstick in order to use your sword. Up and down we'll do like a vertical slash. Left and right we'll do... I thought that was like a... Not that that was a ration. There's no lock on. Can't dodge that, I was blocking. This is so freaking clunky. And it just dropped me off the edge. It didn't even give me a spot to a chance to hit the action button. Oh man, this is so clunky.
Let's go.
wrong with you?
Pro gamer strats, people.
Is that the best?
Can't get up.
Let's go.
How do you even like get missiles that fire that slowly?
Take this. Take this.
Why am I... Okay, that sword just went right through him. It's like I'm trying to do it like on reaction, but it's like it's not working. You have to hit Y there, by the way. It doesn't tell you that. Shine!
Good work, Jack. But this is where it gets interesting.
Okay, because this fight's just been terrible so far. So why would you get rid of the one thing that's actually helping you in this fight and giving you an advantage?
Right. You have to beat Solidus. This is your last duty.
We're not just pawns in some simulation game, you know.
Yes, we are. See, even Rose agrees with me.
No different from fighter jets or tanks.
What the?
The old model destroyed 4 years ago was Rex.
The new amphibious model is Ray.
Both of these are the same as the code names used by the U.S. Armed Forces to refer to Japanese warplanes during World War II.
Your code name, Raiden, too, comes from the Japanese Navy's name for one of its interceptors.
Stop it! I'm not a weapon.
Oh, really? Do you know
Like her
the code
eyes.
name the U.S. Armed Forces used for the Japanese fighter Raiden?
It was Jack. Both of you are just weapons to be used and thrown away.
Just weapons to be
Oh, now she's got your pupils back.
Just pawns in a game. Exactly as you said.
And a weapon has no right to think for itself. Now, it's time to fulfill your purpose. Defeat Solidus.
Let's go.
Alright, I know this is absolutely amazing here, but I need to get a drink. I am like dying of thirst. One of the problems with, being on painkillers, as I'm sure I've mentioned before, is that you can get sudden and brutal dry mouth, so I apologize. It's going to be a problem here, but give me 1 second. I will leave a little video playing. I'll be back in well, I have a huge bottle of whiskey, but I really wouldn't advise it. But I'll be back in 2 to 3 minutes, so in the meantime, if you're old enough to understand this here, you'll recognize this. It will loop forever. Alright, I'll be back as soon as I can, about 2 to 3 minutes.
We'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be be right back.
After these messages.
We'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages.
We'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages.
We'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages.
We'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages.
We'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages.
We'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I'm back. So yeah, I was wondering like how fast it would get annoying, and probably about 2 minutes. Sweet. Thank you for participating against your will in my little social experiment, just like Jack does in Metal Gear Solid 2. It won't be used again, I promise. So here we go, back with the game. Actually, I do have a video I will be using for something else, but oh, this shouldn't be the first time, Nimix. Alright, so I had to run as fast as my crippled butt can, and I say run with quotation marks in the air, but no, the other video I have is something I've used before, like my little nostalgia bomb. So, but it actually has music with it. It doesn't loop repeatedly, so it's like a 45-minute video. But, back to trying to finish the game. Here we go. I was blocking, by the way. Should be noted. Please die. Why does it take you 3 years to get up? I get up faster than this. I have a busted back.
What's wrong with you?
Finally, jeez. Do snakes bite the dust? So apparently he has blood rays shooting out of his back. Pardon me. Can't remember if he gets impaled, but no. Okay, so George Washington's hand is upright. Now it's reaching outward. Which one is it? You wouldn't really hear him land from that height, really. If 9/11 taught us nothing else disturbing about bodies impacting the ground from extremely loud, like extremely high heights, you need to have terminal velocity going in order to make a real big thump. There was a film crew that was filming a documentary on a probationary firefighter, and they actually filmed footage from inside the base of the tower. And also they go inside and they're setting a command, trying to send firefighters up to go tackle the flames and where the airplanes hit. You keep hearing this bang, these loud bangs, and you're like, what the hell is that? And then finally someone looks out the window and goes, oh, it's jumpers. It's like, whoa. He's like, you don't realize how loud that really is. And I've seen people fall from 2 stories, 3 stories. It makes a thud, but it's not anywhere near a massive crash or bang like you would have that, unless you fell through glass pane or something. So now I'm on ground level for I don't know how, really. Oh yeah, it was pretty bad for everybody. Oh look, here comes everyone else suddenly out of nowhere. I was 20 when that happened. Actually, yeah, I was almost 20. Yeah, I was 19. It was 3 days before my birthday.
The memories you have and the role you were assigned are burdens you had to carry. It doesn't matter if they were real or not. That's never the point.
Yes, I was literally just almost 20 years old.
There's no such thing in the world as absolute reality. Most of what they call real is actually fiction.
Wake up, you're in the Matrix.
What you think you see is only as real as your brain tells you it is.
Then, what am I supposed to believe in? What am I going to leave behind when I'm through?
We can tell other people about having faith. What we had faith in. What we found important enough to fight for. It's not whether you were right or wrong, but how much faith you were willing to have. That decides the future.
And they went to New York just to film this footage. It was on Konami's dime. We need research photos.
Listen, don't obsess.
It literally was their excuse. So they went here for the United States, got B-roll footage, got to see what Freedom Hall looks like, and some pictures of the bridge. And then they also went to gun ranges so they could shoot all the guns they couldn't shoot in Japan, record audio and stuff, and realize that the audio doesn't really do too well in video games. But they wanted to get actual experience shooting the guns that are in this game, so they had a lot of fun doing that. I know a little bit of the history of this game, how it was made at least.
Yeah, the clean slate. A new name, new memories. Choose your own legacy. It's for you to decide. It's up to you. By the way, what is that?
It's a dog tag? I mean, you were in the military, you don't know?
Dog tags.
Hey, it's my codename, Wurzel. With an exclamation mark, because I'm that awesome. It's not Wurzel, it's Wurzel!
Anyone you know?
No, never heard the name before.
You haven't heard my name? I am legend.
My own name and my own life. I'll find something.
I'll pick a new name, like Jack. Wait a minute. Cops are like, well, we found out who committed the murder of the ex-president. Some guy threw his dog tags as evidence here.
We've inherited freedom from all those who fought for it. We all have the freedom to spread the word. Even me.
Snake, what about
I mean-
Olga's child?
Don't worry. I'll find him. Count on it.
And it's not a him, it's a her. Retcon.
Yourself alive. He's safe.
Or at least before it became a retcon. Excuse me.
Liquid went?
I put a transmitter on his ray.
Did he head for the Patriots?
Yeah, but I have a feeling they gave Ocelot a bogus location to begin with. Cheer up. We have a better lead. This contains the list of all the Patriots.
But Ocelot took it.
The one we gave you wasn't the real thing.
What?
This virus is coded to destroy only a specific part of GW, namely the information about the Patriots' identity.
Yeah, if you're confused, trust me.
Which
This
means
game
that
is
there's a
confusing to begin with.
here that defines what that information is.
I get it. Analyze the code and you can probably find out where they operate. Count me in.
No, you have things to do first. And people you need to talk to.
Like Rose. Before she wilts. It's actually a song name for a band I used to play with for a little bit. We had a crazy song called Wilted Rose, and I won't play it because it's bad, but I mean we had fun recording it at least. There was one song we recorded called Zwei Zwei Vier, which is 224, and we literally took my friend Chuck's like keyboard manual, flipped to the German section, and just took random sentences and recorded it in order to make it sound like a Rammstein type song, which is great. Yeah, things like, you know, like, you are the user of the keyboard. We had lines like that, and then I added one in Scheißen on Toilet, which is like shit in the toilet. You know, it's like, people are like, what are you saying? It's like, oh, it's lots of fun stuff. Oh, look, it's Emma's parrot. I love you, Hal. A little too much.
Nothing.
I want you, Hal.
Can I ask you something? Who am I, really?
I wouldn't know. But we're going to find out together, aren't we?
Oh.
After I just admitted that I was a spy for the Patriots and my entire relationship with you has been a lie for 2 years? Sure. Sounds good. Let's do that. And by the way, can you please take these handcuffs off? See me what I am for contacts that change my eye colors and dyed hair. Sure. And how did she get there?
Do you remember this place?
Of course. This is where we first met. I remember now.
Hmm?
Today is the day I met you.
That's it.
Isn't it also like the date of the Columbine massacre and Hitler's birthday? No. We don't talk about that right now. It's the day we met.
I think I found something to pass along to the future.
What?
He said all living things want their genes to live on.
Are you talking about the baby?
Yeah. But genes aren't the only thing you pass on. There are too many things that aren't written into our DNA. It's up to us to teach that to our children.
What kind of things?
About the environment, our ideas, our culture, poetry, compassion, sorrow, joy. We'll tell
Wait. It wasn't Hitler's birthday. It was the day he died. So I think like, no, that's not right, because my dad's like a major World War II buff. It's like he watches World War II shows like with bated breath. I'm like, here's a spoiler, we win. Alright, well, Metal Gear Solid 2 is finally in the books. Alright, so next up will be... Nope, didn't see it yet. Don't know when that was, or if it was today or anything else. Haven't heard anything about that, actually. Well, I know that, like, he went to declassify a whole bunch of documents, and there were basically a whole bunch of nothing stuff. I think that was, like, last year or so, I want to say.
I stare at the stars and the sky up above.
Now we gotta sit through credits, which I can't remember how long these credits are, but I know for the new Metal Gear Solid games, they're like 11, 12 minutes long. We'll find out how long these are, because there is parts at the end, so I don't want to skip those by accident, so we'll just let it ride out. So, not this stream, I'll probably be stopping the stream shortly, as soon as the credits are done. And we will be moving on to Metal Gear Solid 3 next stream. I don't know, I'd have to see a source on that information instead. I think that'd be like major news, and I haven't heard of that at all.
In a peace, not war, and dreams that I let slip away, I'll find the joyfulness I'm looking for way back in yesterday.
But the thing is, though, like, even if he was in 1955, if he was still alive then, he was just about on death's doorstep from Parkinson's anyway. I mean, he wouldn't have lived much longer, even if he was alive at that point. Because Parkinson's now, you can live decently longer period of time, but back in the day, like, before they had the drugs developed we have now to help prolong your life, Parkinson's was usually dead within 5 to 6 years. When it started to get really bad. And now we're left with Jazz and Lounge singing B-roll footage.
I fall to my knees, I cry.
gotta say though, like the ending song for Metal Gear Solid 3, not biased because I think that's the best one, but I mean that ending song for that movie, when we get that game, when we get to it, is like the best. It ties like right into like the entire theme of the game and everything you've been through. It's like perfect. This one, not really so much. And yeah, this does end off like a 007 movie. But definitely like number 3, if you think like this ends like a 007 James Bond film, number 3 is going to tickle your fancy if you've never seen it or played it. It is like straight up, they even have like a James Bond intro, like full thing, like, you know, the silhouettes and the full James Bond type theme song. It's great. Now I have like the original Metal Gear Solid 3, it's a top-down like this was. I'll be playing the HD collection again because it's the Subsistence version, which is a reworked 3D camera. Pardon me. Because when the biggest complaint when Metal Gear Solid 3 came out was that there was other games like Splinter Cell that was already out, and it had the full 3D camera and stealth, and people like that better because you can see what's coming at you and you can see what's going on. You don't blindly run into traps and so forth. So Kojima and Konami went back and released an updated version of Metal Gear Solid 3 called Subsistence. It had some extra bonus materials and stuff, but also had a fully 3D camera. And that just really went through and opened up the game. It changed it completely, which for the better. It didn't break it like what was it? Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, which is the port of Metal Gear Solid 1 for the GameCube, which has the control scheme for Metal Gear Solid 2 and 1, which just breaks the game entirely, gameplay wise. It's like you can just like see people from halfway across the map, aim first person and pick people off. You know, it's just like, it just totally wrecks the game, really. That's annoying. I found like a CIA document about what you're talking about there, and they're like, well, we have rumor that this guy's been a former SS guard's been in contact with him, and we have a picture, and it's like, and we couldn't verify it, and he had a picture, but he wouldn't show it to us, and it's like, okay. But it was actually on the CIA's website. If that's what you're trying to pull up. Ooh, MetalGearSolid.com. Does that still work? MetalGearSolid.com. Do you work or not? It redirects to Konami's Metal Gear Solid 5 page.
Life isn't just about passing on your genes. We can leave behind much more than just DNA. Through speech, music, literature, and movies, what we've seen, heard, felt, anger, joy, and sorrow. These are the things I will pass on. That's what I live for. We need to pass the torch and let our children read our messy and sad history by its light. We have all the magic of the digital age to do that with. The human race will probably come to an end sometime, and new species may rule over this planet. Earth may not be forever, but we still have the responsibility to leave what traces of life we can. Building the future and keeping the past alive are one and the same thing.
Yay, it's still not over. Still not over. Nope. Don't know who that is.
Snake, you there? It's me. I've finished going over that disc.
Did you find the Patriots list?
Of course. It contains the personal data of 12 people. There was a name on it. Snake, it was one of our biggest contributors.
It looks like a Tasser for Super Metroid. Yep. Just as I flip back to see that.
Well, we were right about them being on Manhattan, but
what?
But what?
They're already dead.
Okay, so it was this game where they say that all the Patriots are dead.
About 100 years ago.
What the hell?
So the secret people have been running the country in this game all died 100 years ago. Alright. Saved 75 times, continued 36. So continued 36 times means I died 36 times. Yeah. Rations 43 used. Persons killed 85 people. Oh, you should see my stats for, I think, like the first time I played Metal Gear Solid 3, I was on a murder rampage, which becomes a problem for one of the later levels, like one of the quote-unquote boss fights you have to do. You encounter the souls of everyone you've killed in that game. And, like, if you go on a murder spree, it becomes a lot harder to do. Because you have to walk through this river where they're all trying to grab you. Ooh, elephant. I don't know what that is, but it's my code name. Slow and plotting, I'm sure. Setting off all traps. Ooh, I can use the camera in the tanker episode. Okay. And the plant. Now, Metal Gear Solid 1 gave you more interesting things to get when you beat the game, like the first time. Well, if you save... Yeah, so if you save Meryl, you get a bandana, which gives you infinite ammo. If you save Otacon instead and let Meryl die, you get the invisibility suit, like the cloaking device, which is a lot more interesting. Then when you beat the game for the third time, it gives you a James Bond tuxedo to run around in. And now the screen's changed. Instead of being Snake, it's now Jack. So this will be the next game I'll be playing, which is Metal Gear Solid 3, but it goes back in time. It's like the whole instance here. So it's all about, you don't play as Snake, you play as Big Boss, is who you are, but your codename, of course, is Snake. I think it's Naked Snake at first. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's my first one. It's a lot of fun, so I can't wait to get to that. I might be playing it tomorrow. I'm not sure if I will or not. So we will see. But for now... Yep, the end of the stream. It's been 2 hours and 16 minutes or so. Quite a while. A lot of fun stuff we're doing, but I'm glad I got through Metal Gear Solid 2, so... like I said, I might be playing Metal Gear Solid 3. I usually don't play these games back to back on the same, like Metal Gear Solid twice in a day, but I really want to get into 3. It's my most fun one that I enjoy, so I might be doing that. Standard time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Maybe I'll finally do what I keep threatening to do of update my bio page here for Twitch. We'll have to see, and we definitely will for sure. But for now, thanks for tuning in, Nimix, and everyone else who watched and lurked. You're all awesome, and I'll see you all next time.